live here now on the Athletes Podcast featuring Nicole and Megan McNamara, two stud volleyball players from Tsawwassen, British Columbia. How you ladies doing today?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Of course. So for those who don't know, the two twins, as you were referred to growing up, not necessarily the way you want to be referred to as now. You guys are two beautiful individual women who have their own separate identities, who went down to UCLA and absolutely tore up beach volleyball down in the States. Tell us a bit about your experience growing up playing the sport of volleyball.
We started out pretty young. We were 11 or 12 when we first discovered the sport. And right away, we just knew that we loved it and we were pretty good at it. So we never really looked back. We were super young when we found out that it's an NCAA sport or that it was going to be a college sport. So yeah, we just dove right in and haven't looked back since.
It was I was watching a previous interview that you guys had done, and it all started when you guys were vacationing around Europe, and the whole conspiracy theory was that your parents had taken you on vacay and trained you for months on end to become volleyball stars. Do you want to clarify? You want to clarify what actually happened throughout that process?
Yeah, so we, as a family, we had vacationed in Mexico for years. We started when we were pretty young. And our dad would play, we'd sit on the side, we just loved watching, we'd pass the ball back and forth, and then when there was like the kids hour, they would let us play. And then one year we got back to Vancouver and heard that there were some clubs for like U13, so we started playing indoor, joined some beach camps, but when we were in grade 7, our parents just wanted to take us on like a great adventure and have a cool experience, so we traveled Europe for 3 months and then lived in Mexico where we normally vacation for 5 months. And when we were in Europe, we heard that the Youth World Championships were in Turkey. And so we decided to go. We were in Croatia, which was close, and we saw the action like firsthand and we just loved it. We're like, oh my God, how cool would it be to play in one of these tournaments one day? And then as we were in high school, we started trying out and we ended up playing in some of those youth tournaments, and it all kind of came full circle after the vacation.
And you guys have just been tearing it up ever since. The only pair in NCAA history to ever earn 4 straight AVCA, whatever that means, All-America honors. You guys basically went down there and won everything that you possibly could, representing Canada well, South Delta well. What was it like from growing up in the Canadian high school system and then going down to play at an NCAA and at UCLA, which is not a bad place to spend 4 years?
Yeah, so SDSS, I wouldn't say it's known for its athletics. Like we have some sports teams, and our volleyball team always did well, but we knew that we wanted to go to a big school with lots of school spirit, and UCLA was just the perfect school for that, with football and basketball. Like it's just like world renowned for their athletics. So going down there, I remember we were it was our first few weeks as freshmen, and we were just like, holy crap, like everyone that's there is like either the smartest from their high school, the most talented at their sport. Like you're just surrounded by excellence every day, which was just so cool and so inspiring. And yeah, we just loved every minute of it. Like it was amazing. But it wasn't just straight to winning right away, because when we were freshmen, we were put at the 1 spot. So we were playing some really strong teams like Sarah Hughes and Kelly Clays. Like we had it tough from our freshman year playing at the 1. So it was an adjustment, but by the time we were 3rd and 4th year, like we had kind of found our groove, and that's when we did some real winning.
There you go. And what is the difference in the training and what's expected of you as an NCAA student athlete in comparison to as a high school athlete?
It's intense, yeah. Especially weightlifting too, because we worked with Misha Harris, and we would maybe lift weights like once a week, twice a week, but it wasn't really a strong focus. But when we went down there, that was like a big emphasis for every team. And also like practicing 5 or 6 days a week, when in high school we would practice 3 days a week. So just the load was a lot more than we were used to.
And so it didn't make it bad though, being on the beach for the majority of your time while you're going through school. Was the education aspect difficult? I'm always curious for people that go down to the States as a quote unquote student athlete. Is the athletic experience still taking that priority?
Well, for us, we knew that like the Olympics is our ultimate goal, and of course we loved that UCLA had such a prestigious, like it was so academic and so many tough majors, but our focus was volleyball. So when we were deciding what we wanted to study, like it's very science-based, which isn't really our interest, and there's not really a business school. So, you know, we kind of chose a major based on the commitment it would take to complete that major, and a lot of our teammates were doing it and our roommates. Yeah, and like we also like getting good grades, and we like push ourselves, and we're not just gonna slack off in the classroom, but volleyball definitely took the priority.
Was the priority. And you know, that makes sense. And with the Olympics, obviously 2021 isn't what you guys are aiming for, but 2024 in Paris and then 2028 in LA, that'd be so cool. Actually, I just thought of that now. You'd go back and play in front of all those people you played with a decade ago. That'd be unreal. We'll have to make it down there for that.
The Olympic Village is UCLA campus. That's where some of the athletes will be staying. So that would be pretty cool to stay in our old dorms.
Yeah, you'll request the same room, right? Just for
yeah.
There you go. So how you've got now this new website that you guys have created, McNamaraTwins.com. It's funny because we're doing this interview, and for people listening, they're gonna have no idea who's who. So we should probably get you to raise your hand so that people do know when they're watching on YouTube who's Nicole and who's Megan, just for clarity's sake.
Oh yeah, Megan. Nicole.
There you go. There you go. I'm confused the whole interview, so don't worry, listeners. So what's been the biggest adjustment now moving to becoming professionals and playing for Team Canada and trying to represent on that Olympic stage? What's that transition look like?
It's been challenging because our whole lives we've always been student athletes, and we've all like, you go to practice, but that's only for, you know, max 4 hours a day. So we'd have school to focus on, but jumping to pro, we decided not to get, like a lot of the athletes on Team Canada have part-time jobs or coach and, you know, find other ways to occupy their time. But when we moved to Toronto, we decided we wanted to just really adjust to being full-time pro athletes, and we didn't really add more to our plate, and we had a lot of downtime because, you know, you only practice those 4 hours, you work out, there's some driving to and from, and especially in Ontario, it's so cold and gets dark so early.
Freezing.
So there was that was one of the biggest adjustments, because we go from beautiful sunny California, like you have a bad practice, you're having a bad day, you just, I'm gonna go cheer myself up at the promenade. But when it's the dead of winter in Toronto, like where do you go cheer yourself up? What I'm wondering.
The hockey rink.
Yeah, I guess.
But you know, you got to pay $300 to get Toronto Maple Leafs tickets, so that probably won't happen. You got to win a couple tournaments first, right?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, there you go. What's on the tournament? No, where's the coolest place that volleyball's ever brought you guys?
Oh gosh, this is a tough one because we've been.
I know you've been everywhere. This is a tough question. As someone who's only been in North America, I'd like to live vicariously through you guys and watch where you travel across the world.
One of my favorites was this tiny town in the middle of the Swiss Alps called Stade, and it's like a kind of destination for very wealthy people that want to go and have a nice ski vacation. And it was just the most picturesque place I've ever been. It was so beautiful. And I would say Tokyo was really cool because we're big foodies. Like we love food too, and Tokyo it was amazing. It was excellent.
So was there sushi good over there in comparison to Vancouver? You guys also have LA. Toronto was just atrocious for sushi. Don't even try and find anything out here. But like, where's the best sushi been? I know you guys are big foodies.
Yeah, definitely Japan. It was so, even at the airport, like we didn't have much time. So we sat at one of those places with the conveyor belt where you just grab stuff off of it. And that was some of the best sushi that we've had. And even the hotel buffet, like it was just, the food quality was excellent there. Yeah.
Hold on.
Vancouver is pretty close, honestly. Vancouver has some excellent sushi too. We haven't tried it, but we've tried a couple and haven't been back. Yeah.
Don't keep your hopes up. It's a struggle. Okay, wait, hold on. You brought up a food conveyor belt in Tokyo Airport. What is that?
We just sat at in this booth, and in the middle was this, like throughout the whole restaurant, it would snake through the restaurant, and it was just a conveyor belt that was constantly moving with plates, and it had like, you know, different types of
rolls.
nigiri and, you know, fresh ahi. And yeah, it was pretty great.
Damn, I have to go to Tokyo just for that. So obviously you guys are going through now, you've got this added pressure of becoming professional athletes now. You're traveling around the world, trying to compete, trying to make a name for yourselves as these two separate Nicole and Megan. How are you adjusting to the fact that, you know, you don't have a team behind you now necessarily? Because in NCAA volleyball, a lot of people don't realize you've got, you know, 8 other people that are supporting you on that team, whereas now it's deuces. You got the 2 of you and that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a big adjustment because the NCAA format, you have 4 teams to have your back if you have an off day. So there's still a lot of pressure because obviously you want to win your game, but if you do have an off day, like, and 3 of your teams win, then the school wins, which is awesome. But the hardest part was like the qualifier grind is real, and the pressure that you feel like flying across the world on your own dime. And if you lose one game, then you're done. Like that was a big adjustment for sure. Mm-hmm. So we've been kind of working to, well, the Team Canada supports us with, you know, the physio, nutritionist, all those people in Toronto. But when we're on the road, it's just the 2 of us because you have to pay if you want to bring your own coach. So like the top teams that have more financial support have like a team that comes with them. So that's
video.
Our goal one day is to have that. But now it's just like picking and choosing the tournaments when we think, okay, it would make sense to pay to bring a coach to this one. But some of them, if we're going to play in a qualifier, like Timbuktu, other side of the world, like
it's just us and Mikasa.
Yeah, sometimes like you just got to take that risk. So we're still getting the hang of things, but the future is bright for hopefully we can, you know, go with our big team of people.
And that's got to be difficult, especially as younger athletes going up, competing against, you know, a veteran duo who could have 10 years plus experience playing the sport. And then you come in as 2 quote unquote rookies, no coach supporting you in Timbuktu. Are you working to try and pull from the experience that other veterans maybe on the Team Canada might have that you are trying to gain some of that knowledge from?
Yeah, we practice with Heather and Brandy, and so great being able to train against them and learn from them because they're one of the top teams in the world. And we work with the same coach as them, Leonard. So we've definitely like the off season was great. Like we really loved the training environment and feel like we were getting a lot better and we were really peaking at the beginning of the year. So it was disappointing to not be able to see how we were going to fare this year, but obviously there are bigger issues in the world right now than our volleyball.
Yeah, what have you guys been up to during quarantine? That's always one of the first questions I ask, but have you guys been keeping busy?
Yeah, we've been keeping busy. We have a decent like gym that we set up in our upstairs room, so we've been trying to work out, but it's tough. You know, some days the motivation's just not there, but we're lucky to be in Tsawwassen right by the beach. It's so beautiful and
take our dog for
around
walks.
Here that, yeah, we can just go for walks. And, you know, it's nice spending time with our parents too, because for the past 5 years, we haven't lived in the same city. So it has been nice.
Are they getting sick of having you guys back yet, or is it vice versa?
We have our moments, but I think they're really happy to have us home because they'd get bored if we weren't here. Yeah, our mom's loving having us help her cook, but she does say that the house gets a lot messier with us here.
Yeah, pros and cons, right? She can't expect just free accommodation. Come on.
Yeah, no one's expecting it.
Yeah, exactly. So on this website, you guys feature some of your baking, your cooking, your fitness, etc. What's each of your favorite topics on there to dive into?
Oh, probably food and travel, because those are like our favorite things. Yeah, but yeah, this quarantine we've been cooking a lot, baking a lot. Like we've been not eating the healthiest, I must admit. But
okay, so what have the cheat meals been, and what have you been watching on TV while you've been eating those cheat meals?
We've been binge watching all of the old Top Chef seasons with our mom. That's kind of our thing. That was our high school tradition to watch it every Thursday night. Yeah. So, and then we've been making lots of cookies. We have this really great shortbread chocolate chunk with sea salt recipe that's heavenly.
Oh
and
my
we ordered
gosh, I'm drooling.
Yeah, they're good. And then we also ordered on Amazon a pasta roller. So we've been doing handmade pasta with, you know, different
pesto and different sauces. So that's the next one.
We both have major like sweet tooth, so we're gonna have to go on a little bit of a sugar detox when we get back to training, I'm sure.
Yeah, and you guys said that you got some good news from Volleyball Canada, so it looks like you're going to be getting back to that training mode soon.
Yeah, hopefully
hope
soon.
so.
They're pretty optimistic, and obviously we'll ease back into it. So I think for the first little bit, it'll probably be just the two of us and a coach and kind of smaller groups to start. But we're lucky that it's outdoor because I think that those sports can get back to
when they
things
open
quicker.
up the parks and beaches, because I think they're still closed right now. So
we'll see. Just got to stay hopeful.
Yeah, and well, that's the way it is. I like the glass half full optimism from you guys. Are you to transition here? You guys have played volleyball basically for the past decade together. Do you ever get sick of each other?
Oh yeah. It's been a work in progress. We used to fight a lot when we were young, and there was kind of a breakthrough moment our third year at university, actually, when we had a pretty gnarly fight right before the national championship. Like, both of us left practice in tears, and that was like kind of a wake-up call. We're like, we cannot keep going about, because this is like our life, like playing beach volleyball together. And it's tough because we spend so much time together, like more than anyone. We work together, we live together, we eat all our meals together. So we've been working on like dedicating that time apart, and then just like coming up with strategies to cope with like the stressful situations when we're on the road. As we're getting older, it's definitely getting better. We're maturing and learn how to communicate better. Because at the end of the day, we want the same thing. Like, we both just want to win more than anything. But with family, you can just take it out on each other, and you can say anything, and you know that there's that unconditional love that you couldn't say to someone else, like, that was a shitty set, you could do better. But we feel like we can say that to each other because we're family. And yeah,
might actually end up working to your guys' advantage in the future.
we're hoping.
Yeah, we hold each other to a very high standard, which is something that a positive that we can take from it.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a group or a tandem that you guys have looked up to that kind of you modeled your game after?
Larissa and Talita from Brazil, they're pretty fun to watch. And
yeah,
we like to look at teams that don't have massive blockers. But on the guys' side, we really like Kantor Loziak. We've tried to.
They're a Polish men's team, and they are both on the shorter side, and they have a really fun like style of play. So
like a fast offense that we've tried to kind of adopt that into our game also.
Gotcha. And I'm pulling from my grade 8 volleyball experience at Earl Marriott Secondary, so limited knowledge to say the least. But you guys did have to kind of battle to be able to compete together. Originally, coaches were telling you that you weren't going to be able to compete at that next level together. But you battled through, you persevered, and now you're obviously at the top level in the nation. How do you manage that, being two maybe not necessarily the tallest, or not having a designated blocker, for instance?
We're ultra competitive people. So when we were young, I remember a coach told us, like, you two will not have success if you play professionally together. And we cried our eyes out for days.
Yeah,
like, we were
devastated.
so upset. But since then, we kind of now it's just we're used to it, and we try and use it to motivate us.
Like, yeah, we'll prove them wrong. It's kind of our mindset now.
Yeah, and it's been done before, so we just choose, and we also have to choose who we surround ourselves with, because they're all obviously going to be the people that want to just put you down and poo-poo on your dreams. But I think that just being with our coaches that really believe in us, and watching these teams have success where they're on the shorter side, that keeps us very inspired.
And was it automatic that, I'm going to bring it back to when you were looking around for where you wanted to go spend your 4 years of university college? You said in a previous interview that when you stepped on UCLA's campus, it was automatic that was where you guys wanted to be. Why was that? And I don't want to just hear it because of the beach and the sun, but what were the other schools that were maybe some potentials, and for those listening, because obviously the NCAA is a super attractive option for athletes going down, but not a lot of people have the ability to go and check out every school that they want to look at. So maybe give some insight as to what those campuses were like.
Yeah, so we also looked at University of Arizona and Pepperdine. We visited those schools. And then we also got offers from Hawaii and Florida State. But we knew that we wanted, like you said before, like we wanted to go to a big school with school spirit, like just great, like college vibes type of thing. Cause like Tawasin, it's pretty small. Like you don't really get that, especially like a lot of Canadian sports too. Canadian beach volleyball, it's not really a thing, but so we really wanted to go to California also. So like UCLA, like you hear about it on TV and stuff. It's just so prestigious. And yeah, walking on that campus, we were like both like wide-eyed looking around like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is everything that we've wanted. And
yeah, and I think it's just, you need to really just check in with how you're feeling and like if you're connecting with the coach, because that's a huge part of it. Like, sure, if the campus is great and everything's great, like you're spending most of your time, you know, practicing and with your coach who's like your boss, you know, you're trying to win games so he keeps his job or she keeps her job. So we really connected with Stein when we first went on the camp. Like, oh, sorry, that's our mom.
Hey, Mrs. McNamara.
Yeah, we really like connected with Stein when we first went and checked out UCLA. So I think for people that are looking for where they want to go and spend their college career, like really look into the coach and if you're going to connect with them, because that's a huge part of it.
Did you guys get some Zoe 101, Zoe 102 vibes when you went and visited Pepperdine?
Yes. Yeah, that campus is beautiful. Like Malibu is so pretty. Like we really liked Pepperdine.
I think we got a picture in one of the rooms where they filmed a ton of it. It was like the hangout lounge room or something. I remember we got our dad to take a picture of us there.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we love that show.
We a funny story, and I have to tell this because I'm hoping, well, they will listen because I said we went down to Pepperdine to check out. I was down in LA visiting some friends with Duncan and Andrew Rizik, Duncan Granger, shout out to those two boys. But we went down there just to see it, and they had this huge convention going on. And we ended up just sneaking on. They didn't ask for ID, nothing. So we went in. They were giving out free hamburgers. Man, it was the best experience I've ever had. I was like, I got to come down to LA more often. This is great.
That's awesome.
But everyone down there just has a different vibe too down in LA. Is it a bit more laid back and casual? Is it just because everyone gets more vitamin D? Everyone's having fun, smiling? Weather's better? What's up?
Yeah, I don't know. Just LA, it's busy. So there are definitely
there's a lot of
people, but overall, yeah, you're just, you know, you have the beach right here, you know, all the nice, beautiful neighborhoods. So it is easy to just be relaxed and enjoy life down there.
And beautiful people too. I feel like everyone just comes out there. Everyone wants to be hanging out, be together.
Yeah.
So you've got 2024 in your sights, then go to Paris, eat some baguettes, perform on the world stage. What's it going to take to get there for you guys?
Just getting more experience on the world tour and starting to become a main draw team and getting more points. And yeah, it's going to be a long road there because it's so far away and they only start the qualification process. I think it's 2 years before. So we have some time, but it's good to start now and just get that experience because it's definitely like a sport where you peak when you're older. Because it's so mental. It's just you two with no coach like during the match. So getting that experience on the world tour against all the pro teams is really going to help us get there.
Yeah, and still getting stronger and developing our fast offense and our style and figuring out ways to beat the tall blockers, and that'll definitely be a big part of it too.
Yeah, what's your guys' training schedule look like if you're not working and you're just dedicating solely to becoming the best volleyball players that you can be? What's the day-to-day look like in Nicole and Megan's life?
So we'll practice for 2 hours, either with the Team Canada coaches or with Leonard, our private coach. And then the workouts are really long. The Team Canada workouts, some of them can get up to 2.5 hours. Like it's a lot. We thought it was a big jump from high school to college, like from college to Team Canada, it's next level.
Yeah.
But we definitely have been noticing a difference. I think we're getting a lot stronger. So yeah, 2 hour practice, 2 hour workout-ish.
And then in Toronto, there's the commute. It's kind of a big triangle around the city from where we live to where we work out to where we practice. So there's lots of time sitting in traffic. And then we like to cook all of our meals. So we spend a lot of time, you know, doing meal prepping and making healthy home cooked food. So really our typical training day takes us from like 8 a.m. and then we're home around 4, and then shower,
Chill time.
make dinner, and then muscles are too tired to go out and do anything, so just sit on the couch and rest up for the next day.
And watch Top Chef, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go. What I'm always curious about the different recovery and kind of how you're making sure that your body's prepared to stay performing at that top level. Are you guys doing anything in particular to keep in tip-top shape, aside from eating the occasional sweets?
Yeah, nutrition's a big part of it, and just sleep. Sleep is everything. Like, we need more than 8 hours every night, or else we're just dead the next day. So we try to get like at least 9 hours every night, just so that our body can recover and be ready for the next hard day.
Yeah, I think the Toronto winter also played a part in that, though. Like, it felt like we were in hibernation mode. Like, it's easy to just sleep forever because it's so dark and so cold.
Yeah, I remember when I moved out here in 2015, I was like, man, I can sleep for 10 hours in the winter, no problem. It's all good. You wake up, it's still dark, slightly depressing, but you know what? You work hard in the off season so that you can enjoy the summer months and hopefully show off all the hard work you put in over the winter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the last question that we always kind of ask on the Athletes Podcast, because we have some younger listeners, is what is some insight that you would give to younger athletes who are maybe looking at going down to the NCAA route, who are maybe just starting the sport of volleyball, or who didn't get to that high school team, whatever the case is? What are some tips or tricks of advice that you'd give to some up and coming young inspiring volleyball players?
In terms of getting recruited, definitely take lots of video. That helped us a lot, because we just sent off a bunch of video before even going down to California at all to get recruited. So that's a big piece of it. And
just keep putting yourself out there. Sign up for as many camps and tournaments, and if you have the opportunity to travel to play and see where you stand compared to, you know, some US players, like, just really put yourself out there, play lots and have fun. And sounds cheesy, but just, keep going after your dreams. It's easy to work hard when you love it and you're passionate about it. So, yeah.
I like it. That's some great advice. Well, ladies, thank you very much for coming on the Athletes Podcast. We'll have to have you guys on again, maybe in person when you're in Toronto. And then we'll definitely hear from you in 2024 when you're qualifying for that Olympic Games. We're excited to be able to share that. And we hope you guys enjoy the rest of quarantine, the rest of your day today. And thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.